toughest road we've ever had this thing on.
Hey everyone, we're at the Detroit Gambler 500 this weekend. It's an event where crazy people like us bring $500 cars on a 500-mile journey on and off road. Let's see if we can make it back without breaking anything too bad.
We made it up here just fine. We do have pretty catastrophic power steering leak going on, but I just went in Walmart, bought 4 quarts of fluid, so we'll just keep topping her off. All right, so let me just take you through some of the highlights here. Here's one of my personal favorites. We got a 240 with a smokestack coming out. Guess what I found? Florida Gambler, another
Yep.
Floridian, hell yeah.
Yep,
So,
got the Anger XLT out here.
nice.
Got the winch too in case we need it. Slap
So
it right
you're
on the
way more
front.
prepared.
Oh yeah, dude. Little ingenuity, welded the brush guard to the front.
How many gamblers you said you've done in this one?
This is gonna be the second Gambler for this truck.
All right.
Hopefully we can make 2-3 more.
One that really steals the show is over here, the Boatmobile. Looks like it's on some kind of 90s Suburban frame. I guess it was broken down on the highway, but it made it here.
You may have noticed, at this point, the Ranger wasn't a check-in. Wouldn't be a Gambler day if we weren't out here with a problem on the first day. We're out here at O'Reilly, only place within 2 hours of where we were staying in Michigan that had our fuel injectors. That's right. We ran out of gas last night because nobody knows how big the fuel tank is on these XLT Rangers. And I'm here to tell you that it is 14, and we found that out because we rolled into the Citgo completely empty, just coasting under our own power, and now we're here changing the injectors. We're pretty sure we sucked up some crap from the gas that's been there for a year while it sat in a driveway. We got Robert here. Good morning.
Good morning.
What have you done so far?
I've got the intake off. I'm down to pulling the EGR off, and I've just got to get this one hose off of the intake manifold, and then a couple plugs here, and then the screws out, and it should come off. So we got ourselves the full injector combo here. We got the O'Reilly Special, we got the AutoZone Special, another O'Reilly Special, and some weird replacement part that we don't know where it came from.
And we beat our time from last time.
Yeah. Let me show you how serious we are this year.
This is 2001. Is that the car's title?
Go look at the subframe. Kyle, that's what you call structural green stuff.
This is the stable side, they say.
With all the vehicles in mostly working order, it's time to start the Gambler. Belle Island was the first stop, and the city was setting up for the Detroit Grand Prix, the first since 2001. Right after that, we checked out the Heidelberg Project, an art installation that's been revitalizing and inspiring Detroit since the 80s. The founder had this to say.
You ready? Yeah. The pennies came from heaven.
We're here
hello.
at the Heidelberg Project with legendary touring car driver Paul.
We're just adding to the art here.
Actually,
It would actually
Kind of
look good
blend in.
dead here.
Yeah.
Feel bad for you if your official voting precinct is right here. Although it'll probably be one of the more private places to vote. Next we stopped for lunch at Balkan House. Everything was going fine except for the Yukon's power steering leak. Our final stop before we hit the trails was Stepping Stone Park, a beautiful place in Flint, Michigan, and it even has a dam. Our trip to the dam was cut short by a goose.
You think it backs down? Or you think it comes at me?
Man, I don't know.
Aaron Dunn, you want to tell us a little bit about your car?
About this beautiful contraption we call the Boo. As you might see, the reason we call it the Boo.
Yeah, it's called the Boo.
Good
Boo
chunk
for this
of the,
reason.
Yes, it's a 1992 Buick LeSabre with the beautiful 3800 V6 pushrod. You know, unkillable.
to your dismay.
Can knock on some wood real quick. But yeah, 30-year running it with this beast, and she just does not want to die. Okay, first real trail sesh.
First real trail sesh. We wanted to check in.
Everyone's doing well. I'd say the boo has been performing quite well, but the rear air shots, I think we've gotten our money's worth out of them.
They're very tired.
You can actively hear them leaking.
Is that what I hear?
Yeah,
oh my god, let's see if we can get in there and hear that.
Everything's still intact here. We're actually gonna use some of the storage space to our advantage.
Tying some stuff down. Oh, look at that. You're using the third row seat attachment points for the ratchet. That'll be great. Has it been pretty noisy with all this stuff?
No, really. We're not hitting, I mean, it's really not shaking around too much, so it's not making too much noise. It's been pretty comfortable.
Everything easy?
Yeah, haven't gotten stuck.
Too easy.
A little too easy. It is a little bit undramatic.
So how do these trails compare to what you experienced in the Florida Gambler just a few weeks ago?
I'd say we've got a little bit more elevation change in these. You got some hills, you got some, like a couple hill climbs there. That was cool. And more scenic vistas. You know, Florida, the trails are pretty dense and close. You're not really seeing much. You're just seeing trees close in on both sides. It's nice having a full complement of cars. You know, usually it's just Robert and I, so it's nice having a whole crew here. We're gonna add our power steering stop leak. We're gonna, I guess, be doing a product review on this. See if it stops our leak. I'm guessing not, because I think it's more of a
product review in 2 seconds. It doesn't work.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Oh my god. Yeah, the Denali was a different experience. You gotta try the Denali after this. It is. I don't even. I hope it's coming through on the camera. Shaking.
Oh my arm.
Oh, my arm?
Trying to hold this thing in gear.
Oh, Jeremy, in-car interview. Has anyone ever let you drive a gambler car before?
Not a Ford Ranger gambler car with a manual trans. I'm trying to make sure this thing doesn't shake out of gear.
No, it won't.
I did.
Oh, it did? It's never done that to me before. He must have been really sending it.
Just unironically wearing these because there's no air filter.
You do have a recirc.
Wait, really? Is it
Yeah, it's max AC.
Oh.
Try it.
As we continued, the booze problems quickly escalated beyond shocks.
What happened?
We still don't know. Pulled over, stopped, everything was running fine. Went for a hot restart.
So when you
and
started it,
nothing.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right.
Try again. That ain't air.
This is a perfect sunset, like.
I'm already getting stuck, so that's a good
End
sign.
of day one.
Yeah.
Boo
End of
is
day-
dead. Long live the boo.
Pretty much just walked out. That should go poorly.
Should I give it the beans? Are we good?
Yep.
We'll let him go by first.
Someone want to check for traffic? Okay, wait up.
Yeah, man.
Get it! Got it! Hell yeah! At least yours runs. Never mind. Where are your bets at on this working out?
Looks like he's gonna bury himself right there.
Yeah, I think so too,
Hook
actually.
up my hog here. Yank both of them.
Yeah, it's only 7,000 pounds.
Push.
All right, get the Jimmy, get the Jimmy. Well, so what's funny is we were so worried about the hitch that nobody just thought about the fact that the car can't do it.
Get immediately stuck. Yeah.
I mean, it is a lot of sand.
Yeah.
Lucky for us, the Jimmy came through and pulled everybody right out of the sand.
I watched the hitch on your guys. I thought it was gonna rip off. Oh my god. It went. Well,
I heard a nice snap, and I was like, I thought it was the rope snapping.
yeah,
but it
no.
was-
Oh my god. Oh, oh man.
We just got back from the recovery of the boo here. We had a bit of a fraught journey getting the nav worked out and not necessarily being the most experienced at navigating a recovery vehicle. We did make it back. We're at camp now, and yeah, I think this is a problem that comes for a little thought lubricant. So I think we're gonna make a quick run into town to pick up some of thems and then get to work on what in all the whole hell has happened to this poor 3800.
Tell me about this absolute beauty of a Jimmy that saved our ass about 30 minutes ago, pulled us out, broke its hitch in the process.
Oh, you know, they're not really made to tow 10,000 pounds out of the sand. But, this is Jimmy the Gambler. I bought her for about 600 bucks. I've got 952 total dollars into it. Most fun per dollar I've had. It is granny fresh on the inside. It's actually kind of nice for a gambler vehicle.
Oh, it's very nice.
Circa 1996. 4.3 screaming liters of fury. One of the funny things that we're doing is the rear and front tire diameters are different sizes, so when you put it in four-wheel, they're spinning at different rates.
Oh, that's perfect.
On the sand, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, anywhere else, I'll probably be really putting that diff through some stuff.
Show the rear hitch damage here.
Rest easy. You've done a good job.
Yep, that's what happens when you pull 10,000 pounds with a rusted out
tow hitch.
Since the boo was broken down with a fuel pump issue, we decided to cut our losses, settle in for the night, and prepare for a full day of gambling tomorrow. Although I don't know how much sleep we actually got.
Nothing quite like a nice early morning tow in the Ranger. So we're out here pulling the boo to the side of the road. Gonna go ahead, drop it off, and send the other 3 cars, since unfortunately the boo's out for this one.
Unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to the boo for now. Maybe she'll make an appearance next year. In the meantime, the rest of us piled in the 3 cars and got gambling.
This is so much smoother than what's going on. As I hit a huge bump.
That type of stuff is gonna happen.
Yeah, the washboard's unsettled a little bit, but not too bad.
During the second day, the Florida boys enjoyed some hills, and we found some pretty cool obstacles. We were following a power line trail for a while and stumbled upon a really awesome sand pit.
Not enough momentum. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! That's a Ford Ranger.
So much softer there. You need power steering fluid really bad.
Yeah, it's time to protest again.
The all-wheel drive Yukon and Jimmy had no problem with the sand and hills. With its questionable limited slip and low power, the Ranger struggled.
This is reporter Paul back here on site with the tables a little turned a little bit. Looking at someone else's misfortune for once. Robert, you want to tell us what's going on right now?
Yeah, well, basically we're buried up to the frame, and it's not looking great. We're gonna get it out somehow, but we don't know exactly how yet.
You can see the engineering works here where they've begun construction on the tunnel.
Yeah, so this is actually straight to China.
276 trains from London to France a year will pass through this tunnel.
As they said, it's sand all the way down.
Yeah, I mean, the rear diff on this car is very large, and it's very in charge at the moment.
And it's currently below the level of the ground.
Slide under.
Hey, can we just get the Jimmy to pull us out? On the good side, unlike the last time I took this car out, the exhaust is above water.
That's
that
good.
is a good sign.
That's good, as we see for now. Above water / sand at the moment.
Sand.
It's rough.
It's coarse.
Irritating.
Rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere.
I'm gonna take a minute here and interview our friend Kyle. Kyle, what would you say you're doing right now?
The axle was buried, so that's done. Now I'm trying to excavate the differential, which is also buried. And generally just playing in a big sandbox.
Playing in a sandbox. You know, that's it. Kids get bigger, so do the toys. That's what they say. You want to get in that hole and show us how deep it is?
Approximately 0.25 Kyles.
0.25 Kyles? I would agree with that assessment.
Yeah. The Rangers' lack of power was evident. Every hill presented a problem.
Here we are again on the power lines. What would you say we encountered, Gary?
Well, you see, we were just following this trail that the power line guys must have cut to run these power lines, and then there was a part where the part that the power lines ran on just sort of stopped and it turned into water. But luckily, some intrepid bushwhackers cut a trail around it. Only bad news is kind of a bit of a water crossing here at the end.
Just as we were about to head back down to Detroit, the Denali gave us one last surprise. How much do you like Blue Devil?
Well, I don't think it worked too well. At this point, I think we're just gonna try and limp it. I don't know. Here I was thinking that I was crazy buying a gallon of power steering fluid, but I think we're gonna use every drop of this and then
You're not gonna come close to that 50,000 mile fluid life though.
So here you have a Denali here that just absolutely pees power steering fluid every 5 minutes. Yeah, that's a puddle.
Yeah, she's a little incontinent, but we're gonna put that to rest here a little bit.
We discovered it's just the cooler, so we're basically just bypassing the cooler line.
Oh, dude, yeah, we can start that.
Yeah, this is why you wear gloves, right?
What are those?
What are those?
You mean bitch mittens?
After the Denali was repaired, we made it back to the city without any other problems.
Paul, post-gambler recap. How disappointed are you this year in your car's performance, and what are you going to do next year?
Well, we knew it was always a gamble running into the third year, so I think that's kind of the spirit of the gambler, just kind of roll with the punches. Still not sure what we're doing next year, but we'll be here in one form or another.
What was your take on your car for the Gambler, and what are you planning to do next year?
Yeah, it was very impressive actually for being so huge and not having a low range. It made it through absolutely everything in comfort, style, and grace.
What's your plan for next year?
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll see if we can get this beast up here again. This was really comfortable for the highway compared to the Blazer, so it might be worthwhile trying to use this as a Gambler vehicle up here next year. Florida Gambler will probably stick to the Blazer. It's a little smaller for the trails, but this thing made it. You'd be pretty surprised at things that can make it through.
All right, man. How did the truck do this year?
I think my number one complaint about this truck was how unorganized the bed was the whole time. That's how good the truck performed. Wasn't concerned about anything, anyone else. I was on the trails. I was ripping through. Everybody was beating on it. It performed great. The diff locked up. We don't know how. No shocks broke. No tie rod broke. No end link broke. We were hitting things at 35 miles an hour downhill. 2-3 people in the cab.
Towed a car with it?
Towed a car with it. I mean, you would have never thought that a year ago that this truck would be doing any of that. So I'm just overall really impressed. It seems super reliable driving all the way down. I can't wait for the upgrades for next year. You know, we're thinking about 4, 5, 6 swapping. We're just gonna be making maybe hopefully bigger power. I think that's the number one thing that everyone was upset with. But I mean, despite not having any power, it really proved to be pretty fun. And it did, we got it up hills eventually, so.
Momentum, speed and aggression.
Yeah. Speed and aggression.
All right, guys, that's a wrap on this Gambler for us. Now we just got to drive back home to Florida. So with that, we'll see you guys in the next one.